Then still on the medium-term budget policy. We're now going to Lavan Gopaul, the Director of Africa Merchant. A very good afternoon to you, Lavan. Always a pleasure having you here with us. What did you think of the medium-term budget speech? I mean, everyone's kind of been talking about it. There have been some negatives, some positives. What is your sense of what you got yesterday out of the Minister? Did he align the medium-term budget speech with the economic recovery plan, in your view?
So yesterday's budget speech was necessary given the sort of movements that we've seen in the economy during the COVID period. What I believe is probably the most important takeaway is that we've had to tighten our belts. It has to be a much more austere budget as compared to previous sessions. In particular, the minister has made some serious impact in terms of how fiscal collection will happen next year, and we're likely to see an increase in terms of taxes at a corporate and an individual level for at least the next 2 tax years. There have been serious cutbacks in terms of spending, and the highlight has been public sector. So there has been something of a cry in terms of public sector wages, and you will probably see much more of this as the full pay of that low increase has its impact in terms of wages. Some of the other big spends, and we've gone through at least the last 25 years of increases in spending in terms of healthcare, housing, social spending in general, and that has been curtailed in this budget, and it may be an indication of things to come. But of course, all of this is because of almost 2 billion rand a day debt commitment, working closer to that 5 trillion rand level of debt that the South African government bears as a result of a few difficult years, and of course exacerbated by COVID-19.
Yeah. Lavan, looking at economic activity, which industries are poised to support and accelerate recovery, I suppose, the soonest, really? I mean, some industries will very quickly kind of get out of this situation, but others might take a longer period. Which are the ones are we looking at to kind of accelerate recovery?
One of the most important sectors that will benefit from yesterday's budget is infrastructure spend. Now, a theme from the president, and this has been an ongoing theme for some time, is job creation. South Africa has an almost 30% level of unemployment, so job creation is very, very high on the agenda. What we have noticed is the infrastructure spend speaks to almost 275,000 new jobs, and it does contribute positively to the economy in terms of some of the legacy promises by previous budget, but of course it addresses immediate needs.
I want to talk about SOEs. We saw that SAA is getting this bailout. A lot of political parties not happy about it, about that 10.5 billion. And one wonders if, SAA will sort of take advantage of this time around and make, what one can call a comeback or turn around. What are your views on this bailout that is going to SAA?
Sadly, SAA is a combination of a very difficult industry which has been labored by some instances of bad management. We've also heard that there has been little bits of corruption that have also found their way into the system with respect to the airline. The aid that has been spoken of is probably important because SAA affects a lot of related businesses, and a number of people are dependent on the success of SAA. As far as it being a national carrier, I'm sure that a government believed that there may have been some obligation to come to their rescue. However, SOEs have been a thorn in the side of national government, and it has been something that has been a drain on our budget. This may be, from a policy point of view, a very, very poor decision. What you're likely to see is other SOEs expecting the same kind of aid given to them. And whilst SAA has received two different portions of 10 billion, 6 billion almost, it will still be a loss-making operator, and that's because of it being in a space of thin margin. Let's also remember that some of the largest airline companies in the world are now going through a lean period and aren't able to make a profit. So effectively, what South African government has done in terms of this budget allocation is awarded several billion to the airline company, only to result in a further loss.
Yeah. All right, Lavan, always a pleasure having you with us. Thanks indeed for giving us your input here on SA Today, as always. Lavan Gopaul, Director at Africa Merchant. Thank you, sir.